If you're moving to Kelowna from Vancouver, Calgary, even Ontario, there are 7 things that you will not find in any listing description. These are things that I found out the hard way after moving here with my family. A few of them surprise everyone I work with. Some of these things make life better. Others, well, not so much. If you don't know me yet, I'm Mark with KelownaCondos.ca, and I've been helping people relocate here since I did with my family back in 2013. So let's talk about what living in Kelowna is actually like. First thing, the weather here isn't just a little better than Vancouver, Calgary, or Toronto. It's a lot better. If you're coming from Vancouver, you're escaping month after month of rain. Not only does Kelowna get over 2,000 hours of sunshine every year, but it also gets very little rain. Vancouver clients have told me they didn't realize how depressing the rain was until they left. And if you're moving from the prairies, you're escaping 6 months of winter and insane summer storms. Kelowna rarely dips below -5 in the winter, so there's no more -30. There's no more surviving winter for half the year. You can actually ski and golf in March. But here's something that a lot of people think about but don't often talk about: the wildfire smoke. Summers, they can get smoky. I find it happens more in August than July, and some years it's worse than others. Now, this doesn't happen every year, and it's often from Washington. It's not from local fires. There have been a few since I moved here, but most of the time the smoke comes from somewhere else. But the smoke does affect your lifestyle, especially strenuous outdoor activities, and you're going to need to factor that in. The second thing, this one's pretty simple, but it can be confusing. In BC, we don't call them condos. We call them stratas. The words are used interchangeably, but you'll hear strata way more often here than you'll hear condo. Strata council, strata fees, strata documents, strata meetings. It's all the same thing as you would call a condo, condo board, condo fees in other provinces. But when you're looking at listings or you're reading the news, everything is going to say strata. It's not a big deal, but it's one of those things that I often get questions about. The third thing, property taxes in Kelowna are low. The average price here might be higher, but the tax rate is often half. This is the only thing that I have found so far that's cheaper in Kelowna. If you're coming from Edmonton, for example, a $700,000 home in Kelowna will run you around $3,100 a year in property taxes. That same valued home in Edmonton is going to be around $7,700. And here's an added bonus. If you're a BC resident and this is your principal residence with a value of less than $2,075,000, you're going to be eligible for the BC Homeowner Grant. This is going to drop your property taxes even further. The amount in the Okanagan is $770 per year, or if you're over 65, it's $1,045. Now, if you're moving from Vancouver, this isn't going to surprise you. But if you're coming from any other province, this is probably something that you have never heard of. Fourth, this is a big lifestyle factor that people often don't realize until they get here. Finding a family doctor in Kelowna is extremely difficult. The Okanagan has a doctor shortage, and most family practices aren't accepting new patients. If you're relocating from a bigger city where you had an established doctor, understand that you might not find that here. The good news, though, is that it is improving. There's now a centralized website where you can put your name on a list and you get a doctor as they become available. But if you have ongoing health needs, this is something you have to plan for as soon as you get here. I've actually heard of people keeping their doctor in their previous city and then traveling back for appointments. Others, they use walk-in clinics or virtual care services. It's not a deal breaker, but it's the reality of living in a smaller, rapidly growing city. And it's something that I wish more people knew about before they moved. The fifth thing, you'll actually use your outdoor space here. I know, that sounds pretty obvious, but some people don't understand how big that shift is. In Vancouver, you'll probably have a balcony, but they're super small, and it rains 9 months a year. In Alberta, you have mosquitoes. If you're currently in Alberta right now, or Saskatchewan or Manitoba, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In Kelowna, you'll use your patio from April through October. Morning coffee outside, dinner on the deck, evenings with wine, watching the sunset over the lake. It becomes part of your daily routine, not something you just do twice a summer. So when you're looking at condos, outdoor space matters more here, and it's one of the things that people regret overlooking. Does the patio get good afternoon shade in the summer? Is it private? Is there room for a table and chairs? Even a little sofa? A well-designed patio in Kelowna can be a game changer because you'll use it so much. The sixth thing, this was a big one for me. The lifestyle shift here is bigger than the location shift. You're not just changing cities. You're actually changing how you live. In Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, life revolves around work schedules, brutal commutes, and cramming activities into the weekends. In Kelowna, outdoor recreation becomes your weekly routine. Hiking on Tuesday afternoons, beaches after work, patio dinners because the weather's perfect. The cultural pressure to constantly hustle here just disappears. But here's what nobody tells you. That shift, it takes time to adjust to. When I moved here, I was completely taken back with how slow everything moves. There just didn't seem to be the same sense of urgency that I was used to. So give yourself 6 months to a year to settle in. Business meetings are often scheduled a week or more in advance. Contractors, they leave at 2-3 in the afternoon. And professional services often take longer to complete. The lifestyle here is incredible, but sometimes it still takes an adjustment, even when it's better. Now, number 7, finding friends here is easier than you might think. When you move to a new city, one of the things people worry about is how do we meet people? So here's what makes Kelowna different. A large part of the population moved here from somewhere else. That means that almost everybody was new at some point. So there's this openness to meeting people that doesn't exist in cities where people grew up together. People connect over outdoor activities here, not work. Hiking groups, arts and crafts, skiing, golf. There's always something happening, and the community is pretty welcoming. I've helped people move here that were worried about finding friends. I talked to them 6 months later, and they've got an entirely new friend group. So here's my advice. Join something. A run club, pickleball, a brewery trivia night. Kelowna's small enough that you'll start recognizing faces. And because so many people choose to be here for the lifestyle, you'll find people with similar interests fast. It's way easier than breaking into established social circles in larger cities. So those are the 7 things that nobody tells you about moving to Kelowna and buying a condo here. The weather is life-changing, but wildfire smoke is real. We call them Stratas, not condos. Property taxes are surprisingly low. Finding a family doctor should be one of the first things that you do. Your patio becomes part of your actual living space. The laid-back lifestyle does take time to adjust to, and finding friends might be easier than you think. If you're thinking about moving to Kelowna and buying a condo, I can help. I know what it's like and what you'll be going through because I moved here myself. If you want to chat about what the move looked like for me and what it might look like for you, just book a time to chat. You'll find my booking link in the description below. If you found any of this helpful, hit the like button so other people can find it. And subscribe to my channel because I stay on top of the condo market so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.